Hi, and welcome to the PLP Advantage Virtual Clinic. My name is Brian Kane. I'm the Corporate Parts Manager for PrairieLand Partners. In this segment, we're going to talk about planter and drill parts as you get your planters out ready for spring planting. PrairieLand's here to take care of your parts needs. It all starts up front. Our planter opener blades in the True V trench. We need a good clean V instead of the W that we see on the left side of our screen with a little bit of dirt buildup in the center. So the seed needs to be laid down in that V. New blades are 15-inch diameter, and you need to think about replacing them when your blades get down to 14¼ inches. The pinch point needs to be about 2¼ inches when the blades are new. So take a look at that, make sure your blades are set correctly and that they're big enough to dig that True V. We have a couple blades options in both the XP and our MaxMerge True V openers. We have the regular standard blade, and then we also have the heavy duty option, which for the XPs gives you a little bit bigger bearing, a 205 instead of a 204 bearing, and bigger rivets on the flange, 5/16 rivets. We've started selling more of these in recent years with more no-till and higher downforce settings. For the True V openers, the main difference there up to the heavy-duty blade is simply a thicker blade, a 3.5 millimeter instead of a 3. Moving on to gauge wheels, at the top of your screen, you'll notice the standard gauge wheels we've had for many years. They're a solid wheel hub. They're available both in the 4.5 and the 3-inch width. You see more of that narrower one on the air seeders than you do on the planters, but they're available both ways. In recent years, we've found that the spoked wheel works a lot better in muddy, dirty conditions. It allows that buildup from the inside to escape through those open cavities in the wheel. So from Deere, we've got the 3-inch and the 4.5-inch spoked gauge wheel. It has a cast spokes, which leaves the largest opening for that mud to get out. We also have a cheaper version from A&I. It's a little less expensive. It does have a little smaller openings than the Deere wheel has, but it's considerable savings from the Deere. So we got both options available. That one's only available in the wider wheel though. Moving on to the seed tubes. So this tube's been out for a while from Deere. You'll see there on the left side, it's kind of a clear tube. At the top of it, one of the advantages is that the retaining tabs are longer and more flexible. So they're easier to squeeze with your fingers to take the tube off and inspect your sensor or replace the tube. On the right side is a picture of the older tube tabs. They're shorter and stiffer, so they were pretty difficult to get off. So I don't know if you have older tubes or aftermarket tubes that you've purchased somewhere else, that may be a difference. The other thing is where the seed sensor mounts. You'll notice there's a window in Deere's newer tubes. On the inside of that tube, it is smooth on the curved edge, so your seed will run down and have no interruptions. The old style tubes, the seed might have caught on the edge of that hole or on the seed sensor itself. So it's something that you may want to upgrade if you don't have this newer tube. A couple of allied suppliers that we support and carry their parts for is Precision Planting and 360 Yield. Many of you have used some of their products, Keaton seed firmers, the ESET meters. 360 Yield's been out for a while now. They've got some planter attachments. They've got some corn head attachments. These are not stocked in all PrairieLand locations, but we can order the parts or we can transfer them in from another location. A few other allied suppliers that we carry as well. These are more for closing wheels or opener wheels. The Yetters, the Martins, and the Dons. We have those at various locations, as well as the Copperhead Ag inserts for your closing wheels. You can get those in a complete wheel, or you can get just the insert, which you can add to your Deere closing wheel. Moving on to some air seeder parts. I think it was 2018, Deere introduced the Pro Series opener on their air seeder. And this had several different components. It had a narrower seed boot, had a newer closing wheel and press wheels, had a different seed tab to keep the seed from bouncing up in the trench, a different spring. There were several components they changed on that. You can get a kit now to retrofit back to older 90 series openers. That kit also comes with the opener disc, which allows you to rebuild your row unit and get it ready to plant. So if you're doing any work on your 90 series air seeder, it's something you might consider to upgrade to this Pro Series opener system. Another new product that we started carrying last year for air seeder carts was the stainless line through A&I Products. They partnered with the Air Seeder Parts LLC, and there's quite a few different products that they offer, and we have sold and installed several of these. They work great. They got the meter housings, the transition kits, the tubes. These are all stainless, so they're anti-corrosive. They will last longer, and so they're a pretty good product to upgrade to if you have some corrosion issues from your fertilizer. Various configurations available, so you can check with your parts team and get a quote on some of these upgrades for your cart. Another product that we've got offered is the hydraulic identifiers. This isn't for just air seeders or planters, but for any of your implements. As you plug in multiple hoses, it might be challenging to figure out which one is pressured in, which one's the return hose. On the left side of your screen, those are some aluminum grips that will screw in between the coupler and the end of your hose. And there's 6 different colors available. You can get those in pairs. They indicate whether the pressure is coming in or going out. So you can add that to your hoses for easy identification. On the right side is a little cheaper option, which is the colored tie band sets. Those also have indicators, whether they're pressure or return. And they come in sets of 4, so you can just wrap those around the end of your hose to ID which hose runs which function. And we also have the PrairieLand portal. Many of you have signed up for this. It's kind of like online banking for your John Deere dealership. You can get connected to your account. You can see your parts and service invoice history. You can also see the machines that we have listed in your profile, your equipment, and the serial numbers. You can request changes, add or deletes on those. You can also look up parts and order parts 24/7 on here.